Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today we're finally going to open up this big pallet that I've been teasing in the last few videos. This is a koi pond kit, and we're going to build a 15-foot wide, 20-foot long pond with a waterfall. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of excavating, and a lot of manual labor placing rocks, because you basically form a rock wall all the way around the interior of this thing. And it's got a couple challenges because we're not on flat ground, and obviously you want water level to be just below ground level on this whole pond. So we're going to get the transit level out, mark everything today, figure out how we're going to shape it, where we want the waterfall to run. Just get everything ready, because I'm hoping to have major progress done on this within the next week. So I guess we'll start opening this up and get started. I've got two helpers with me today. One's the brains and the other's the bronze. So I've got Rex here to help me plan, and my son is going to be helping me place these rocks. So let's get started. First thing is just open everything up and see what's in here. I literally don't even know. Okay, I'll just start cutting the plastic off. Try not to cut through what's under it. So at the lower end of the pond, you've got a skimmer. At the top end, I don't know what you call everything. One's a skimmer and the other's a filter box, I guess. And this big hose here runs in between them. Savio skimmer filter. So they use mechanical filtration, biological filtration, and it has a bunch of biomedia in it that your bacteria and stuff grows on as part of your filter. I got this from halfpriceponds.com. That's the name of their website, but it's literally the way they do business. If you price these pond kits from different places, you will not find a better value than this company. 5 by 15 by 45, I don't know what that means. We've got two liners. One's 30 by 25. We want to make the pond 4 foot deep. So a 30 foot by 25 foot liner, when you sink it down into that hole, can make like a 15 by 20 pond, basically. And this is a Lifeline aeration kit. I'll put a link in the description to the entire kit that I got. We've got several cans of this Savio black foam, like a waterproof sealant. It's almost like that Great Stuff insulating foam. So when you build your rock walls and your waterfalls and everything, you spray this in between the rocks, and it kind of holds everything in place and seals it. I actually didn't know this came in the kit. This is a 1.5 watt rock light kit. I was already thinking about I wanted to order some lights to put in the pond, so that'll be cool. The most powerful skimmer UV on the market, up to 50% more UV output. I don't know how, but somehow UV light like sterilizes the water. The bottom half of this box is just underlayment. So after your hole's dug and you've built your tiers and your shelves into the pond, you put down an underlayment and then a liner. So the two things to do our planning today, the two things that need to be out of the box, are the skimmer and the filter. Oh. Did you? Okay. So there's our two main pieces we need. And one of these boxes is probably just the big liner. I bet this entire box is the liner.
Yep. 45 mil, yep. 25 by 30 by 45. So that's your size.
Oh yeah. So that sucker's gonna be heavy. I bet that weighs a couple 100 pounds. So when we go to stretch that out across the pond, that'll be all you. Mm-hmm. So what we've got here is our waterfall outlet, and that's the skimmer. So that'll suck in dirty water, filter it, pump it up here, and it comes out here for the waterfall. And we're gonna try to build ground level. This can actually be buried. We might bury this a foot, have it sticking up 2 foot, and then all the dirt we excavate out for the pond can be used to feather this out, so it doesn't look like we have a volcano in the yard with water coming out of it. It feels more like it's just coming from ground level. So that's a big part of the planning. First, we need to mark out the area, but then we've got to figure out the elevation, because water level in the pond should be a couple inches lower than the skimmer, but I think that's probably quite a bit lower than ground level over here. So we want water level of the pond to be just below ground level all the way around. So there's going to be a lot of leveling and excavation. First thing we got to do is figure out the height difference. Okay. And okay, we're going to get a height of everything in comparison to this spot right here. So,
Where do you want it?
well, I'm thinking, like you said, maybe a waterfall coming this way. We've got a 30 by 25 foot liner for the pond and a 10 by 15 liner for the waterfall. So it can be up to 10 foot long, but try to realistically make it more like 8. And that could be in a straight line or an L shape or anything. I think we're going to make it a little bit L shaped from here. No, we're not stepping it off with the tape measure in our hands.
Well, I figured that, but I feel like
You did.
I feel like stepping it off.
Go from the skimmer to here.
I honestly feel like stepping it off is more accurate.
8 feet. Yeah, tape measures are...
So like the front of this,
Yeah,
8 right there.
okay. So we'll put a mark like the pond edge is here. And then we need to measure 20 feet that way. I guess. Okay. We've got the basic size marked off. Now we need to see height difference. So we're already about 3 or 4 inches drop just right there. It's always more than it looks, right?
Dad, your head is directly in the way.
I don't think so. Is it? Oh, I was thinking it was where the camera is. Hold on, let me get the tape.
Shut up, I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm
Dad.
just saying I was as bad as I was giving you a hard time for. Wow. So come measure from the stick. It's about a foot.
Yep, 11 inches.
Okay. Come down here.
Which would be good because that means you can bury that a foot and it's going to be an elevation pretty much right there.
Yeah, we actually had another 3 inches or something.
15.
Okay. So, you guys think through this with me. If the low spot down there is 15 inches lower from one corner to the other, then it's either we have to choose what ground level is on the outside of the pond. It can either be that or it can be this.
I think you
Probably
definitely
that.
want it to be that.
So we leave ground level where it is there, and we need to excavate everything in this area to match that. And then it's got to kind of slope off so that it doesn't just drop right there. Does that seem right to you? We decided to go ahead and excavate this spot, get the ground flat so we can do a better job of planning what's next. All right, you got it set to this point. I'll make my pass and then you'll check it in a few places where I've been. Yep.
Well, it's supposed to check down.
Ooh, that's right.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
And everything past that is still high.
Yeah, still high.
Like right there. That's pretty good. It's
Almost
only
perfect.
one arrow.
With all your excavating experience, whenever I'm trying to grade with the bucket on that, if you're ever in a perfectly flat spot where all of your tracks are flat, you touch that tip to it just starts to scrape, then you just drive everything from there. But on something like this, like I'm starting over every time.
You're going here and your bucket's here, so you're having to do this.
That's why I was trying to see if there's a way around that, but like I can't come in from this way without having the same thing.
It's going to be too small no matter which way you go. Your probably best bet is going to be where you're doing it.
Same thing, yeah. It's kind of like doing those pads at the park that they're so small. It's harder to make a small hole flat than a big one. Is that blowing air right now?
Yep.
Okay, great. I have a windmill aeration line buried right here, and I tried to look at where I'd put it in the video. I thought it came across here and then down, but it went right there, so we hit it. And not a big deal.
And what is this for again?
This is the actual pond shape that fits inside of a 14 by 19 box. So a lot of people don't just make it an oval. They make it a more unique shape, and then they'll paint that shape around the hose,
Where it looks
and then dig at the paint line.
more of a natural pond instead of a pool.
Okay, so we've laid this black hose out. That represents where the water will be, and water level should be like an inch below grade right here. Which means our waterfall, if we run it from that tote down to here, where it sets right now is really high. You can picture tapering dirt off from that to make it seem natural and not like a volcano. We'd have to run out 30 feet and use probably more dirt than we have. So we're definitely going to want to sink that into the ground. Is that about how far away?
Almost 7 feet, 80
Okay.
inches.
So now we need to figure out, the last thing I really want to figure out today is how high we're going to set the skimmer. I think that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to bury that a foot deep. That'll stick up 16 inches.
16 inches.
And I can use 16 feet to slope it out, and it's going to feel like a natural build-up to it. And I think that's all I really want to do
16 inches
today.
is only going to, to the center of this is going to be right here, roughly.
I'm like an artist.
If you see any holes in my plan here, let me know. But the idea, we're going to bury that skimmer about 12 inches deep, which will put the water coming out 16 inches higher than the pond. And it'll have about 16 inches in an 8-foot run, a 16-inch drop. We're going to make like a little river running down into this. The next 4 days, I'm traveling to 4 different events or visiting a few people. So the next 4 days are all travel, and the start of next week, we're going to dig a 4-foot hole right here and start building this thing out. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.